from the face-on view, okay? First off, you didn't have that hip set enough forward.
Got it.
So it was, rather than shifting the 1 inch forward that gets that femur right on top of that left, left foot, you were just kind of sitting back behind it a little bit.
Okay.
And then what was happening was, because I don't like the big lateral shift,
right.
you were turning almost inside your foot right there and not on the outside of it.
Okay.
So that's one reason why that you would elevate that ball up in the air.
Okay.
Yes. So I would tell you, bump the hip. This is the anchor point of the swing. The good news for you, and Caden does this very well, and I want our viewer to know this. When you bump the hip, and I say this is the anchor point, it's not keeping the left hip over there and restricting the turn. It's the right cheek turning back into the left. Watch this from this angle. It's me turning my wallet into my phone. That's what keeps that left hip up and then allows for it to come back, and you're still covering it with your upper body. So one thing I watched you do, you turn very well. Mm-hmm. The problem was you just never had the anchor point set.
Got it.
So set that. You do a great job from there of maintaining. And then because the post will be a little bit more definitive, you'll be able to rotate down on top of it a little bit. Okay. But to me, it's just not as definitive as it could be. Yep. You watch Mark over here and you see there's just much more of a definitive posted up lead leg.
Yep.
And much more braced trail leg. You're just back behind it. I would tell you if we put a balance board underneath you, you'd be 50-50.
Yeah.
And with that club right there, I like to see a 60-40.
Got it.
A little more on the inside of this foot, a little more on the flat of that foot, kind of like you have door stops underneath both, right? A little more like this.
Yep.
Left leg drill all day.
Yep.
Just right here. Left leg is the post, right leg staggered back. And guess what? We can just simply hit some shots like this. Right around the left side. What's great about that is if that left leg's posted up, at the top of your swing it's going to be there, and the downswing, it can't fall back, right? There's no back leg to fall back towards.
Well, I feel like that's a big reason why I'm getting behind too, because if I'm turning this way, that's why I always feel like I'm getting stuck.
Well, think about it like this. The arms can't move back in front of you because nothing's going towards the target.
If I'm going like this, it's
back.
just, yeah, okay.
Exactly.
Nice.
Drop that right leg closer to your left. There we go, just like that. Hit some little 3/4 knockdowns like that. See how flighted that's going to come out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, dude. How good is that right there?
Yeah, I know. It's dead straight.
Dead straight. This is so important to understand when it comes to how the hips work. At impact, the golfer needs to have this leg right on top of the left foot. It needs to be a post. We don't like seeing people start neutral and this ridiculous move that people work on of trying to then shift their hips. It's just the worst thing I see in the downswing golf. I can't stand watching it. It's not what happens. Mm-hmm. Okay, the best players in the world are turning centered around fixed points, and then they're moving into that left side only because that left leg wants to post up. But when you're already posted up enough, here's the cool thing. It's a very minimal hip shift. It's actually one that only takes place, if you watch, a half a hip width over and then rotates on top of it with your upper body. Yep. Now, if you're setting up back here, you know not to make that big shift. So what do? You just stay back there.
Right.
How good is that ball flight?
Yeah, I mean, it's actually compressed now, which is good. Kids say we got our swagger back. You know?
Like the kids say, right? Look at the left hip, you guys. If we zoom in on this, this one's posted dead up. Upper body is not pitched back like this. It's on top of that left leg like that.
Perfect.
Okay, here's the thing. Is this stack and tilt? No, it's the exact opposite. And here's why. You're setting up with the hip bump. Your lower body goes left, but your upper body does not. You're turning behind the golf ball, not on top of your left side the whole time. You're turning behind it, but the lower body stays anchored forward so that there's a post for the upper body to get right back on top of. The weight transfer is happening with the chest turning over the instep of my back foot and the chest turning over the instep of my left foot simply because of rotation and not because of side-to-side movement with the lower body.
Right.
We know that.
Yeah.
Now, here's the cool thing. And so, what's funny is the average professional would work on with you, shifting you into it like this and working on that hip bump that's ridiculous. You know what it would do? It gets you more stuck.
Behind.
More behind.
Yeah. It's
You'd be falling back more like this because of the perpendicular spine to lower body.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Not the fix.
Yep.
Don't let anybody tell you that out there, guys. Don't let anybody tell you that. Improve your setup. Don't sit there and work on that lateral shift. Okay, now ready? Watch this. The guy on the left. Look at him. Just posted right on top of it and turning right on top of your lead leg. Now ready for this? Look at the stability with the hands and the wrist through impact, and look at your chest actually covering it.
Yeah.
Not falling away from it, right? As of opposed to this.
Yep.
And that's something that's your go-to drill. A great drill to warm up with is I call it the Nicklaus drill. Such great footwork. If you watch his feet, he's never to the outside of his feet. He's really, on the inside and the outside at impact. You can literally shift your weight like this and hit some little 3/4 knockdowns. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what that does is it keeps that anchor point, keeps the weight on the inside of the left foot, and really helps promote staying stable throughout the swing, okay?
Gotcha.
So once again, like watch that. I'll just get in here, shift, and then just, okay?
Yep.
That's a nice little shot. See how flighted those come out?
Yeah.
And that's a great one for feeling the footwork. Heard Charles Howell say this, one of the most consistent golfers over time, great PGA Tour career, right? Made a ton of money on tour over the years because always just racks up. Don't always hear him win a lot, but he just racks up those top 10 finishes, sneaky top 10s all the time. He said, God, I just focused my whole time on staying dead centered. The weight transfer happens naturally because of rotation, not because of actual movement from side to side. I just want to make that so clear to golfers. We're not preaching him to move into it that way. It's not what we're looking for. It's going to kill your rotation. It's going to cut it short. All that sliding forward, every inch of sway or slide takes 10 degrees of rotation away. Okay, so he's going to be able to open up more around the left side, cover it more with his upper body because he has that more definitive posted up lead leg. And what he's noticing already, what we're noticing, the ball flight comes down. Nothing started right. It's all on line.
Yep.
And the most important thing is for you, the low point is now down in front of it, and the path is a lot straighter. Exactly. Exactly. The hip bump, guys, for people who struggle a lot with hitting behind it, this hip bump is really huge. What it does is it really gets the low point of the swing more ahead of the golf ball. And that's something that's really important for the average player out there who's not able to do. That's so good.
Look at that.
So good.
Jeez.
Yeah, for the average player out there who's not able to make ball first divot contact later, you got to work that hip bump. You got to work the hip bump. I mean, try to work on getting the wedge on the outside of your foot, get that pressure on the inside of the right foot. Caden, do you know how many golfers you just helped out, by the way, as a result of coming here with just sitting back a little bit on it?
Yeah.
So many of these guys are going to be playing so much better as a result of what you just did.
I love it.
And here's the thing. I know we have the shot tracer here, which gives you a little love, but it does not do justice to how much that ball flight just changed, literally in 30 seconds. Gosh, dude. That's just so nice to see.
Yeah. For me right now, it's a big on the knockdown mentality. The setup really helps a lot of just almost like feeling like I'm staying over my weight's on the front foot and staying on top of the golf ball like the whole way through, and it's lowered, it's more compressed. That's been really big for me. And then right now just focused on just keep turning like through the ball when I get through impact. That's been really huge. I mean, it's night and day.
Nice job, Caden. For our viewer, good drill for the viewer. Caden doesn't need us today, but for the viewer. Inside, outside, okay? Kind of gets the pressure points where they need to be. And what's a great thing is it helps you feel impact, helps you maintain the anchor point, and rotate around it, right? Great drill right there. Now, next one. Left leg drill. Stagger the right, create the post with the lead leg. Rotate over that left side, right? At Porzak Golf, we take a lot of pride in having developed some of the best and most consistent golf swings on the planet. We do this through simplicity. Our Full Swing Masterclass will take you on a step-by-step, easy-to-understand process on how to get your golf swing better than ever. Join the many before you who've utilized our Full Swing Masterclass to take their games to the next level and beyond.